Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by the Liberty Times, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte stated that the United States' decision to reduce the number of military forces and assets allocated to NATO command does not indicate that Washington is withdrawing from Europe. Speaking ahead of a NATO defense ministers meeting, Rutte clarified that the U.S. has adjusted its commitment to the NATO force model to establish clear responsibilities once defense plans are activated, rather than distancing itself from allies. Reports from American and German media suggest the reductions include cutting one-third of the 150 U.S. F-16 and F-15 fighter jets assigned to NATO, along with refueling tankers, bombers, reconnaissance aircraft, submarines, and a carrier strike group. Amid concerns that President Donald Trump's shift might expose Europe to security risks from Russia, Rutte emphasized that European nations have relied too heavily on the U.S. in the past. He concluded that it is crucial for Europe and Canada to step up and assume primary responsibility for their own conventional defense. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, French President Emmanuel Macron declared the three-day G7 summit in Evian, France, a success. Speaking at a press conference following the conclusion of the summit, Macron stated that G7 leaders reached a consensus that the situation on the battlefield has shifted in favor of Ukraine, noting that Ukraine is currently advancing and resisting while Russia is in retreat. Notably, Macron highlighted that U.S. President Donald Trump, along with other G7 leaders, acknowledged that Russia has no desire to end the conflict with Ukraine. Macron interpreted this consensus as a true shift in the United States' stance regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. He praised the summit for bringing unity, meaningful discussions, and sincere cooperation among the leaders, especially after months previously marked by divisions and disputes. Additionally, Macron commended G7 leaders for remobilizing to ramp up pressure on Russia to help advance the Ukrainian peace process. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi stated that she does not believe United States' focus on the Indo-Pacific region is weakening. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, June 17th, following the conclusion of the Group of Seven G7 summit in Evian, France, Takaichi shared details of her bilateral meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump during the event. She noted that Japan and the United States confirmed that the U.S. government will continue to maintain close coordination with Japan regarding the security and geopolitical situation in the Indo-Pacific region, including issues surrounding China. According to Antara, Indonesian Finance Minister Purbaya Yudi Saidwa met with his Chinese counterpart, Lan Foan, in Beijing to deepen funding ties and secure long-term capital. The high-level meeting is part of Jakarta's strategic initiative to diversify its sovereign funding sources and expand its international investor base amid global economic headwinds. Unlike many emerging markets currently grappling with debt sustainability, Indonesia is leveraging its solid macroeconomic indicators to negotiate from a position of strength. Minister Purbaya emphasized that Jakarta's appeal to Chinese institutional investors is backed by resilient economic growth, a tightly managed sovereign debt to GDP ratio, and a budget deficit kept strictly within safe regulatory limits. Purbaya attributed the enduring trust of foreign investors to Indonesia's commitment to consistent policy reforms and strict fiscal discipline, rather than short-term market sentiment. He noted that the government's proactive approach ensures that national development projects will continue steadily despite international market volatility. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.